I'm becoming what I choose to be. Keep up, homie, ain't no sense in losing me. Man, I'm just doing me, them other suckers so generic. What could they do to me, man, I don't even fucking hear 'em. Hold up, let my mind breathe so I can clear it. Here it is again, this time infected with a spirit. A golden mind.
Thank you, Hip Hop World, for listening to Live Platoon. I am your host, the Hip Hop Podcast King, aka Live Marco Polo, and my guest today is Colby Bright. Colby Bright, are you ready to get live?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right, man. Well, for myself and for the Live Platoon listeners and team, man, if you would just kind of give us a brief introduction to yourself, your movement, your music, and just, anything you need the people to know about you that maybe they're not aware of, man.
Well, my name is Colby Bright. I'm from 936 Montgomery, Texas. Been doing hip-hop music about 8, 9 years, 10 years maybe. Long time. Been writing poetry since I was about 12 years old, a kid. And more, it's just a positive movement, man. Just people that want to come together and push for something positive and from nothing to something type attitude, back against the ropes and, just doing what you got to do to get to the next level. You know what I mean? It's just all about grinding, showing that hard work pays off and dreams do come true.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, man, if you would, first question that I have for you, man, if you would just kind of let me know, this is just my personal favorite, man, but just kind of let me know what drew you to hip hop, whether it was an artist, song, parent, or whatever. What really made you fall in love with hip hop music, man?
There's probably really a couple different things, man. First off, like I said, I started writing poetry when I was like 12, but I mean, that had nothing to do with hip hop. It was something that I just did for myself. And I'd show my friends sometimes, my real close friends, and I'd never really show anybody, And then I got to about 17 or 18, and I mean, I was always in love with hip hop, so I will say Tupac, was a big influence. That was the first hip hop CD I ever took in as a kid. I think I was about 11 when All Eyes on Me came out, and then I went back and did my homework on all this other stuff. And I was just a hip hop head before I even did music, and I was about 17 or 18, and some friends, came across some of my poetry, wanted to take me to the studio, and we did, and from then it's been on. It's just something I fell in love with, just the whole project.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's understandable there, man. So, do you still have any of your old poems that you have written?
Oh, man, yeah, no doubt. I got them up in the storage, man. They in my green binder. I know what it looks like. All
right, cool, yeah. Man. Keep them things, man. You may be able to auction them off later on, man.
Maybe one day, but hopefully I'll get to the point I won't need it like that, It's sacred, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. All right, man. Well, next question I got for you, man, is if you would, man, just share with us a hip-hop quote. It doesn't necessarily have to be hip-hop, but just a quote or something that you kind of reach back to or maybe helps you push throughout the day. What would you say your favorite quote is, man?
I'm gonna give two of them. First off, one of them is you get what you give. Bottom line, that applies to everything in my eyes. That's something I've always done. And another one that first actually hit me when you first asked the question is it's Keep Reaching. It's actually the first song I ever recorded from a poem, and it's called Keep Reaching. And it's crazy that 10 years later it's still the same message from the same song that I did by default. It's just the only whole song I could put together. You dig what I'm saying? But you get what you give, man, and that's that may be. I'm sure it's been said somewhere along the line. I don't know who came up with it. It's something that I heard somewhere along the line growing up, and it stuck with me since a kid. So that's my work ethic. Is you get what you give. So.
Okay, cool. And that's exactly right, man. Definitely, you can put in a little bit of work, you get a little bit of results, man. So definitely, hopefully, Live Platoon Nation will resonate with that, man. That's real talk right there. Now, if you could, man, live Platoon listeners, man, we got a ton of listeners out there who, want to pursue music or possibly already are or whatnot. But of course, they see the MTV jams and whatnot, and they see just the airplanes and the popping bottles or whatnot, and I don't know if all of them really realize that a lot of people go through adversity to even get to that point or whatnot. And so, they may actually quit or kind of give up before they get to that plateau or whatever dream they're trying to reach. But if you could, man, just share with us a story of adversity, something you've been through to this point that maybe could even cause you to quit. Maybe it was something as minor as a hard drive crash or maybe even something a little bit more major than that. But if you would just share with the story, just kind of let us know, what you've been through.
Well, I mean, over 10 years, you can imagine, you know what I'm saying? The different stuff that we've been through. I mean, you got to think about, we've done regional tours on our own, little stuff like that. No tour buses, of course. You got to think about I mean, scraping your last pennies to get to the next city and worrying about, food is the last thing on your mind when you're just stuck in the middle of nowhere with, you know what I'm saying? When you're just
Mm-hmm.
opening act on a tour and that kind of stuff, so you got to remember to grind. And if not, you'll be reminded real quick about it. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
I'll say one trip that we did, we went to New Orleans and out there at All Star Weekend a couple months ago, and we were supposed to open up and for some bigger names. I won't mention those because they weren't involved, and I don't want to put nothing bad on them.
Mm-hmm.
Between somewhere along the line, they didn't show, and we sank everything we had into this show, like we do a lot of stuff, and this was All Star Weekend 2013, so last year.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, 2014, this past year. But we went out there and it just didn't go as we planned. And, you talking about, coming from where we're from, it's about 6-hour drive, 7-hour drive. So you're talking about in the car, 6 hours with nothing left, just trying to get home, and you don't even have the good feeling of a good show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going down there, and just when you have such high expectations and things don't always pan out the way that you expect and that type of thing, it's it can really throw your mind off, and especially when you give everything to get to a certain level, and the results don't pay off as much as you expect. It always can hit your pride and your ego, so you just gotta remember, keep pushing and keep reaching, and you only get what you give. So it goes back to what I said earlier, that if you can make it through the hard times, the good times will be great when they're there, but it takes 9 bad times to get that one good time. You know what I'm saying? So,
Definitely. So what you know what I'm saying, what's inside of you that, even though you know what I'm saying, that experience with South on you, that makes you keep going, you know what I'm saying? Because like you say, a lot of people would have quit from that experience possibly, or just been down and out. So let me ask you this, a better question. How long did it take you to bounce back from that experience?
I mean, just a day or two. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that's like I said, over 10 years, you can imagine.
Yeah.
From all of it. That was just happened to be something that was recent that popped up in my mind.
Yeah.
But I believe if you really want something in your heart, you can't quit it. You can't get away from it. You just can't. And if you can, then maybe it's not. Maybe what you're chasing is not for you. And I'm not saying second guess what you're doing. I'm just saying that if your heart is really in it, and and you really feel like you're meant for something, don't ever shortchange yourself for that. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to do right now. I mean, of course, we're not where we want to be. We're a long way from last year, and last year we were a long way, than from a year before. But it's still so far to go. I still have a sick mother I take care of. I still have different stuff that I hold down, just like anybody else. I still work a 9-to-5 job and squeeze in shows when I can. And it's very much a grind. But if you believe you were born for something and meant for something, it's gonna happen. And I'm blessed to be able to have just the opportunity to be on this interview with you guys right now. So I'm just working hard to try to get there like everybody else.
Hey, definitely. All right, now, of course, with Live Platoon, man, we like to talk a lot about marketing and whatnot, in internet marketing. But before we get to the internet side of things, man, I'm just gonna throw out a few examples of marketing and how some other artists have done their thing, and then, if you could you can elaborate on them, or even maybe touch something that we didn't reach or touch on or whatnot. But the reason why I like to do this particular section is because a lot of our listeners, you've seen, and I know in your 10 years grinding, man, you've seen this where people just think it just takes a hot song and that's it. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize that, you know what I'm saying, you have to market yourself in some way, shape, form, or fashion, because it may happen, just put out a hot song for 1 out of a million, if even that, you know what I'm saying? But these people who really blow up, they really have some marketing behind them, whether it's some elaborate scheme or just whatever it is. It's marketing, whether, you know what I'm saying, it's the first person to get tattoos on their face or whatever, you know what I'm saying, just whatever it may be, you really have to do it. But the first example I have of marketing is with 50 Cent when he came with the song How to Rob an MC. Of course, at that time it was genius because he knew and understood that these other people he was coming at, even though he didn't have real problems with all of them, he knew that lyrically they were competitive. So the moment he dissed them on the song, they were going to want to come back at him. And then of course, it helped to elevate his status, being mentioned by Jay-Z's and Ghostface and Raekwon, the people who were really running things back in that day. So what I'm saying, that helped to elevate his status. The second example I have is by a person I wouldn't even call this marketing, but is 1000% just being himself that turned it into marketing, and that's DMX. At the time when he came out, he came out, he was like no one else in New York music scene at that time. But you know what I'm saying, again, he wasn't marketing, but it made it an easy marketing job for the record label, because he was filling a void that no one else was touching, because they were trying to do what everyone else was doing. And then the last example I have, and then you can definitely take it from there and touch on one of those or maybe elaborate on something else. But the last one I have is 1000% marketing, and that's Lady Gaga when she wore the meat dress to the award show. You know what I'm saying? That was way bonkers and goofy, but I think she knew and her people knew that it would get her media coverage, you know, at least for the next 5 days to help push whatever they had going on at that time. But man, if you could elaborate on one of those or something else, that would be great, man.
Oh yeah, first off, man, Jay-Z, that's a genius. You know, I
Yeah,
forgot what you said about, you know, exactly how you broke it down about him, but Jay-Z, that's, to me, that he just knows marketing. I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, I'm a huge fan. I'm from the South, keep in mind. So a
yeah,
lot of people, you know, you know, it takes an open mind to listen to that. First off, it took me a while. I had to go back and do my homework. But Jay-Z is a genius. My opinion. I mean, he built it from the bottom up by himself. You know, people forget that he started Rockefeller alone. You know, and
yeah.
then of course hip hop heads know. But you know, Jay-Z's a genius. DMX, like, wow, dude, like that's I'm a huge fan of DMX forever. Like I mean, you can do your homework. He's the only person to have two number one albums in the same, you know, calendar year. You
He
know,
did, didn't he? I forgot about that. Yeah,
you know, the dude is legendary, and people can say what they want about his life now. You know, but to me that just shows he's human. Like he sold
yeah,
all this and through all that, and it just shows that, you know, anybody can have their demons and can lose, you know, sight of what's important sometimes. I mean, I can't speak for God. I'm a huge fan, so it
yeah.
feels out of line. But you know, for people to see it publicly, that stuff happens every day. For somebody to see
Hmm.
it publicly and somebody you look up to, it just shows that people are human, and it's not all glitz and glam. You know,
Yeah,
and Lady Gaga, I mean, I don't necessarily listen to all her albums and all that, but you give credit where it's due as far as the stuff that she does to draw attention to sell albums and stuff like that. I mean, and she obviously has her fans. You know, she wouldn't be, you know, at the status that she is. But you know, all three of them, I think, have great marketing people behind them. You know, I think they're all, you know, the first two are definitely legendary, and Lady Gaga definitely has a crazy
yeah,
movement. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You know, definitely, yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm a fan of a lot of people in the industry. You know, I'm definitely a fan of hip hop. You know, I'm an artist myself, but I do love the people that
Hmm.
I love watching. I do soak in marketing and, you know, different ideas that I see people do. You know, I think shock value has a lot to do with a lot of stuff people do nowadays too, especially
Yeah.
with social media.
Definitely, definitely. Now, let me ask you, man, what was the moment when you realized you could use the internet to really build your fan base on a lot broader scale than you could in your local area?
I think, I think honestly, I want to say, I guess when I discovered Twitter and Facebook when they started first coming out years ago. I guess,
Hmm.
I mean, MySpace was cool, but I don't think I ever got the response. I think to me it was just cool to have your stuff on the internet because it was just getting bigger and stuff. But MySpace and Twitter, or excuse me, Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, you can interact with people and they send you messages and all that. And of course, it's been around for 10 plus, or however long it's been around now. But it's still very, very relevant. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you know that a lot of people go there to check. I mean, college kids is where it started, and to me, I mean, those two platforms introduced it, and then of course you got the Ustreams, you know, YouTubes and all of that. But I just think at the end of the day, you know, Facebook is a huge tool. Ustream, YouTube, I can't, you know, get away from that. But
Yeah.
the internet is just such a big tool, and on top of that, it's right there in your pocket. You know, how do you not use it? So.
Definitely, definitely. Now, um, when you first started to utilize the internet for music purposes, was there anything holding you back, or anything you had to learn, or did you understand pretty well how to utilize the internet for that?
Well, I think there's still a lot to learn. You know, to me, it's
Hmm.
endless. And there's so many ways you can do it. You can create new ways to do it. Like, of course, you were mentioning earlier about people with marketing and stuff like that. I think it
Hmm.
all begins with the internet at the end of the day, because what happens when something big happens, like just for example, let's say the Solange and Jay Z thing. You want to look it up on YouTube or Worldstar. I want to see the video. Where's it at? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, that to me, that's where it all begins at. But with the you know, the marketing, I think it's just it's so relevant and everything, and there's so many different ways to do it. You know, I just think it's
Hmm.
like I said, endless, so much to learn, so there's no way I can know it all. But I taught a lot to myself, you know, and I've learned a lot from my team. Shout out One Crown and everybody in One Crown Entertainment, and you know, supporting Colby Right Music, and everybody that I have on my team that are, you know, better with the internet than myself. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Now, is there any particular musical artists who really stands out by the way they utilize the internet, or you know what I'm saying, just some plans or some things that they did or executed that really kind of stands out to you?
I mean, of course, years and years ago, of course, you had your Soldier Boy, who did that, which I'm not, the biggest fan.
Hmm.
But I respect how it came up, of course. But somebody that I'm a fan of, and I watch him a lot, Machine Gun Kelly, man. I'm not sure how big y'all
Hmm.
are on him over there, but the dude, his movement is ridiculous, online. And I think, like if you look at his Twitter, and I mean, dude he has an army that he's winning all kind of awards because of his supporters online, and of course their supporters, at shows and stuff like that. But I mean, it's authentic. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and to me, that is the bottom line groundwork to it all, is to have an authentic movement and people that are active online and active with your CDs,
yeah, definitely.
that they're so involved online, online, that they've never met you, but they'll go home and burn your CD and pass it out to their friends because they believe in you that much for what you stand for, from what
Hmm.
they know, the facade that you've created, and the portrait that you've painted for them to see of you. So,
Definitely, definitely. Now, from like Machine Gun Kelly, or anyone else, are there any specific tips or tactics that you picked up and are using for your current project or anything in the future, as far as how you're going to market it online?
well, one thing we started is these vlogs. It's called Bright Dreams. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, my name's called Bright. We called it a Bright Dreams for, kind of got a double meaning, Bright Dreams and Bright Dreams, or however you want to see it. But anyways,
Yeah, yeah.
just kind of a little vlog behind the scenes stuff at the show, stuff on the road. On the highway at 4 o'clock in the morning, trying to get home, get ready to go to work the next day, type stuff that people don't see about every day. Just some cool little footage that we like to do behind the scenes. And to me, I think it lets people get to know you as a person, and I think that's pretty important, and back to what you were saying, the internet, is giving us that platform to do that, so why not use it?
Definitely, definitely. Now, if you had to recommend a internet site to someone listening to me, your voice right now, say for instance they're not using the internet for music marketing purposes at all, what one site would you recommend they jump on immediately?
To check out music, listen
No,
to.
no, no. I'm sorry. Just to start getting their music out to the people.
Oh, I mean, of course, to me, I think you got to use YouTube and SoundCloud. Those two are the most phone compatible, in my opinion. And nowadays, everybody's on the go. When they see a
Mhm.
link, they don't want to go home later, check it out, go here, go there. They want to click the link on their phone. They want to pull it up and hear the music with their little aux cord or whatever it may be. But at the same time, to me, I mean, everybody wants. I mean, this is a now era. And I feel like, somebody, like, I'm the same way. If I see a link and I'm interested at this moment, I may not be interested later. So this may be my, one shot to hear, get them to check out my music. So to me, SoundCloud and YouTube, they're the most phone compatible, and definitely you can't really lose with them. So
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
keep
Now,
it simple.
got you. That makes sense. There, just like you say, keep it simple and jump on those and rock with it. Now, for a new artist who's starting to record themselves, maybe they just got a laptop or whatnot. What recording software would you recommend they start out recording on?
Well, to me, I mean, of course, your Pro Tools is that's your industry standard. And so if you're just starting out and you're just now getting into it, I mean, you should probably learn with what industry standard is. That way you don't have to reteach yourself later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I personally, I still use a Magix program that I got years ago. I
Mm-hmm.
still record with the same equipment I got years ago, and it works great for me. But only because, Pro Tools is great, but it has so many options that you can only use it for what it's worth. If you don't know how to work something, then you're basically doing the same thing. So I stick with what I know. But if I was learning again, and of course I'm not a producer by any means, I do have engineers and stuff like that, and they do use Pro Tools. So my best advice on that is, if you're just starting out and you're gonna learn, you might as well learn it the right way. Go with Pro Tools, find out how it is, because a lot of people in the industry, they send you Pro Tools files. Half the time, I can't even open files unless I take it to my engineer. You dig what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I'm just keeping it 100%. If you're gonna learn the right way. You know what I mean? When I did it, Pro Tools just coming out, and I never got big into engineering because I always want to focus on the hip hop side. But if you're gonna learn it the right way. Go with the Pro Tools. That's my personal advice.
All right, cool, cool. Now, let me ask you this, man. Now, say for instance, man, throw on your imagination cap for me, and man, say for instance, if tomorrow, um, no one had ever heard your music, but you still had all of your music, so you don't have to record anything. You have all of your music, all of your wisdom, knowledge, experience, connections, equipment, everything. What would you do in the next 7 days with a $300 budget to get your fan base growing again?
Wow. Great question. Great question. First off, I would pick my singles, of course. I
Mm-hmm.
would reach out to everybody I know that I've known off of strength, for favors. If you got
Mm-hmm.
$300, it's favor time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, sir.
call out, reach out to them, we see who we can connect with. Then you look, I mean, I would take it way outside the box like we're doing now, all the way down to sponsors and investors. But let's keep it simple. $300. Get you some CDs pressed up. I got a company to press them up. I'm going to give them the plug. 5000cds.com. They give you 150 CDs for $300. I believe in physical attraction, handshakes and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So we got $150 left. Get you some cheap Twitter promo. Everybody loves Twitter, all that. You can get that done for $20. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
130. It's hard, man. Take a couple dollars, go to the club.
Yeah.
Put depending where you're at, and get a DJ $100 and get them to spend it at one of the hottest events, in the city that week. And extra $30 hit the bar and get you a couple shots to relax. You know what I'm saying? There you go. $300.
All right, cool. I like that. Now, live platoon listeners definitely, y'all need to jot that down on your notepad or something. Yeah, that's real stuff that you could do tomorrow to really get the ball rolling, man. I appreciate that, man. You really broke it down, and he's an accountant because he kept the numbers on deck. All right, man. That's probably his day job. I think we figured him out, man. He running the books for somebody, man. But last question I got for you, is say for instance, if tomorrow the individual who can make whatever your say for instance, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but I don't know if you want a record deal, distribution deal, you just want some sponsorships, whatever, but say whomever were to run up on you tomorrow like, yo man, I've been hearing about you in these streets, man, I heard you on Live Platoon, I got 5 minutes, man, I gotta hit the airport, but I want to spend about 6 minutes or something. Let's listen to one of your songs and then kind of chop it up after that. What one song would you play for that individual?
Wow. That's a good question too. I think I'd break it down and I would play him part of a song.
Okay.
Part of a song from Worldwide Hustler, the new Lazy Bone single. Just a song that we have that radio quality. I'd probably cut it off after a minute. Probably play another minute of another song, and then the last 3 minutes, probably look them in their eyes and let them know what I think we can bring to the table, and work that out from there, and let them know the team we have and what we're doing is strong. We're not going to 10 years, perfected that we've been tightening screws and we're still doing the same thing. But, I'm very confident in what we have going on. So I would spend those last 3 minutes just being authentic and let them know who we are, what we're about, and, working, trying to get to that next level.
Live Platoon. I just want to say it's been a lot of cats, man. I've done over 70 interviews to this point. And it's a lot of cats who want to throw 2 or 3 songs in there, but they usually say they want to play the full genre. I am totally impressed on how you broke that thing down, man. You followed my rules, man. You kept it gangster, but yeah, you still gave me 2, 3 songs, and then you talked to me after. Yo, Live Platoon, check me. Hey, man, you get the salute for that, man. If I had the flex bomb, I'd drop that thing.
I feel you. Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I like that.
Appreciate the interview, man. Thank you, Live Platoon, man. Thank you, everybody checking it out. And thank you, Marco Polo, man, for messing with your boy, man. ColbyBrightMusic.com, One Crown Entertainment. Check out the app, Google Play and iTunes, type in Colby Bright Music, and definitely make sure y'all check out them podcasts on Live Platoon on iTunes and everywhere else online,
Man, appreciate it. Yeah, for like, you don't even understand. I'm spinning right now. You did the thing appropriately. But anyway, Live Platoon listeners, man, he gave us the songs, man. We will be updating all his contact information as well as links to his songs on Live Platoon. liveplt.com. So definitely go there, and because he gave us this crazy interview, please pay him back by going to listen to those songs and anything else the man has to offer. Just give him a shot while you're on the bus doing your yoga, whatever it is you're doing. Just go and listen to him and check him out. But definitely just let's pay him back. But I don't know if you got any other shout outs or any other contact info you want to hit the people with, man. You got anything else you need to tell them?
Just real quick, follow me at Colby Bright, ColbyBright on Twitter, ColbyBrightMusic.com. Like I said, download the app, Colby Bright Music. Follow, make sure you follow Live Platoon on Twitter, Live Platoon, that is, and, just rock with your boy, man. It's a movement, man. Positive things going on, positive thoughts, positive results, and, just pushing for the moon and back. So let's get it.
All right, cool. Well, again, thank you for coming on, man. We salute you. And again, listeners, Live Platoon, get on them, definitely. And my favorite thing, man, hit him up before he his prices go up for them features. You artists, man, hit him up.
I see you. I see you looking. Thank you, man. I appreciate the I appreciate everything. And shout out to everybody, man. Yeah, everybody out there doing what they gotta do to get to the next day. That's what it's all about. Shout out Marco Polo. Shout out Live Platoon. And thank y'all, man. I appreciate it.
Is that to take Slay Beat?